won't be too high. Or they could subsidize the landlords to keep the price low for the people. Okay, so moving on, let's calculate the deadweight loss. Your equilibrium price is $50 and your equilibrium quantity is 1,000. So when the market transaction takes place at $50, the surplus is maximum. But when the market transaction does not take place at the equilibrium price, then there is a loss in surplus or a deadweight loss. Without price ceiling, market transaction takes place at the optimal equilibrium price of $50, giving you maximum surplus, market surplus. With price ceiling, at $40, your quantity supply becomes, so at $40, the supply is at 8,000 quantity and the demand is at 12,000 quantity. So quantity demand at $40 is way higher than quantity supply. What does that mean? There's a shortage. There is a shortage. So with price ceiling at $40, quantity supply is at 8,000 and quantity demand is at 12,000. The shortage equals $4,000 quantity. Loss in surplus is equal to deadweight loss. That's what it's called, deadweight loss. Dead weight loss means loss that shouldn't have occurred but occurred because of government intervention. So because there was a price ceiling in place, that's why the loss occurred. If we had let market operate on its own, the loss would not have occurred. So loss in surplus is equal to dead weight loss. Calculating the dead weight loss is area between demand and supply and quantity Q star and QS. So it is half times base times height, which is half times. So when you sell at $40, suppliers are only supplying this much. This whole area is your loss.
So it's between the equilibrium quantity and the quantity supply?
Yes, in this case. Suppliers are only supplying this much. They're missing out on this whole area of surplus, so this is the dead weight loss. They're actually missing out. So this is, I'll talk about that later, but this is loss. This is the market loss. Market loss. Part of it is the consumer loss, part of it is the producer loss, but this is market loss called dead weight loss. So to calculate it, it is half times, it's a triangle, right? So half times base times height, so 60 minus 40. 60 is the full height, minus 40, that's your base. Or actually, that's your height. Your base is 10,000 minus 8,000. 10,000 minus 8,000 is your base. Your height is 60 minus 40. So that gives you dead weight loss equals 20,000. What this means is market could be that much better off if the price ceiling is removed.
Wouldn't that be 40,000?
What?
Yeah, wouldn't that be 40,000?
Half.
Is that wrong?
No.
I also made a mistake, no problem. So there's, I didn't count on the half.
Yeah.
If you got a half.
It's half. So this was price ceiling, which is normally below the equilibrium price. Price floors are government imposed price which can be charged, intended to keep prices high. So price floors government imposed minimum price that can be charged. Minimum is the key. Minimum price that can be charged. What was price ceiling? Government imposed maximum price that can be charged. That was intended to keep price low. This is government imposed minimum price that can be charged, and it is intended to keep prices high. And intended to keep prices high generally helps producers. Examples of price floors: cigarettes, state minimum price sold here, minimum wage, alcohol. So these are some of the things that government can impose price floors on. Now this is a side note, and I think I said this, but if price ceiling is set above equilibrium price, it has no impact to the market. Okay, so this was a side note. The potential impact of any price floors is a surplus. Price floor is the maximum price that can be charged, right? So let's say that this is the market decided equilibrium price, where the market transaction should be happening at that price, but price floor is set by the government that this is the minimum you can charge. Minimum you can charge to keep prices high. at this price level, supply will always be very high, and quantity demand will be low, so there is a surplus. Price floor is called price floor because it's the minimum price that can be charged, and minimum, or like, so a way to remember is like floor is the bottom part or the minimum part, and so that's why floor minimum, and then ceiling is the highest you can charge, so ceiling is high ceiling. But don't get confused, because this is a floor, because it's a price floor, don't think that it will create a shortage. Like, it's not. Price floors create a surplus. It's usually above equilibrium price and it creates a surplus. And price ceiling is below equilibrium price and creates a shortage. It's kind of opposite of what it sounds, so so be careful about that. Did you have a question?
Yes.
I answered it, okay. PF is price floor. If you